Looks like we're live. LinkedIn live, YouTube live, Facebook live, live, staying alive. We're talking about offices. Now this may surprise you, but this doesn't normally look so good when I'm just sitting here. I'm talking about office setups. It's 4 o'clock. People are supposed to be here now. We're live. We're as live as it gets. So we're talking about office setups. How do you make your office setup really, really awesome? So, we are so live right now. And I'm showing you about setups. How do you make all this stuff comfy? That's the real question. How do you make it really awesome? Well, as you can see, my camera, are way the hell back there, and my monitors are over here. These are actually two different systems. And that's a mirror. And that's a mirror so you know what's going on. You in the camera. That's what I'm up to here. Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, you're blind. That's you. Look at how bright you are. I just cleaned this mirror. That's right, Travis. It's Ableton. And yeah, there's a notebook there. Yeah, so if from the spaceship, that's right. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm supposed to tell you about setups because this is quite the setup here. I got my soundboard is not actually hooked up right now. I got it just going through here because I wanted to make sure that the Ableton came through properly. But normally I have the sound effects and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to make sure that this is a real thing. Oh yeah, what am I doing here? Show. Boom. There it is. Travis. He's saying, is that Ableton? And he's talking about this right here. Pretty fly, right? But the other thing you can do, I guess I'll get to tech. Okay, let's do some background. Let's take a little trip down memory lane here. Let's I don't know. I guess that one. I think this will be good. There you go. So we're talking about technology. We're talking about getting your setup in a way that doesn't suck. So first, I want to talk about this thing here. It's literally falling apart in my hands. If you can see in the back there, let's see if that works out at all. Oh, almost, no. Yeah, you can almost make it there. You can't see the serial number, not that really matters, but it's Pocket PC 2003, and this bad boy here This is an iPhone from like 4 years before iPhones. I had Skype on this, and from Taiwan, instead of having a computer, I only had this, and I bought the Skype credit, and I used to talk to my family all the time using this bad boy right here. And it's cool because, like, now it's pretty common to have the unfolding keyboards and things like that. And but back then I looked like James Bond. It was amazing, and I actually bugged Steve Wozniak about it because I was like, okay, well, Steve Jobs is supposed to be this genius by making the first phone with a hard drive in it, and that's basically it. So there we go. So we got Travis saying again, nice behind the scenes scoop. So let's talk about, I'll kill this sound here for a second here. So let's talk about the setup itself. So I got the notebook going on right here, and it has its own camera. I think if I do this and I do this, then I can switch to, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's the camera from the notebook, and yeah, you can see that the frame rate sucks. But if I go like this, back over to this one, then it's just slightly higher up, okay? And that's just for quality. And then the reason you were blinded in the mirror here was the ring light. Oh, no, that's me. Yeah, hi. Okay, and then, yeah, that ring of fire right there, that's you in the middle. And if I turn it off, bonk. Okay, there you go. See, there's the camera. And the laptop's just below that. Okay, I've told this story a few times, and I got to put it to death. So I'm going to tell you again, and I'll switch this setting here. So now I'm got a little bit more of an orange tinge in there. But part of the inspiration for me moving my camera back there, and this only matters to you if you're looking to be an influencer or something like that, is it comes from a show. It's a Ricky Gervais show, if you know him, and the main person in there is Carl Pilkington, and the show is called An Idiot Abroad. An Idiot Abroad, and basically what it is, it's a show where Ricky Gervais, he has this buddy from high school or whatever, and he's just so typical salt of the earth, like narrow-minded, just because he has no real need to go on past his own community. And so what Ricky Gervais decided to do is send him on dream vacations all over the world. The first season was the 7 Wonders of the World. And send them all over the world and have these dream vacations. But the problem, like the joke of the show, was that they're dream vacations, but not for the guy who's actually going on the vacation. It's the kind of adventurous vacation that, like seasoned travelers would dream of. But many people who haven't really expanded their horizons, they might find it terrifying or disgusting. Like instead of, going to a nice hotel somewhere on the other side of the world, he's in a hostel with a bunch of very horny 20-somethings and, very drunken travelers and all that kind of stuff. And that's a tough one to get used to once you get older. So, but anyway, the saying that he had that had to do with this camera placement is his piece of wisdom was that he'd rather live across the road from the Taj Mahal than live at the actual Taj Mahal. And his justification is that if you live at the Taj Mahal, you're still, when you look out your window, you're looking at somebody else's crappy house. But if you live across the road, you're looking over and there's the Taj Mahal. And I like that. And part of me, like getting this screen, doing all this sort of stuff, like obviously it's a fun thing for me. But if I'm the only one who's getting any benefit from it, then it's like that's kind of lame. So what I often do is when I'm on phone calls, I have it streaming back here. So you can see how you look. You get to see what I see. But anyway, so what's the skinny here? So the laptop is over here, which means that I got the HDMI connection all the way from the laptop all the way to the monitor over here. This one right here, this screen's a touch screen. So if I go like open recent and then I go to this set, one thing I've been messing with is a song by Skrillex called Mumbai Power. And saying that I've been working on it is not really a nice way to put it, because I haven't put anywhere near enough effort into it. But the bit that I've been messing around with was getting the right instrument. Fortunately, I actually was in the orchestra pit helping with the guitars for The Lion King when it was in Taipei. And so because of that, I got to know what a kalimba is. And so for a kalimba is, I believe it's a South American instrument, but it's kind of like a music box, but it's just a box with a sound hole in it, and then it's got these different length like tongues, kind of like the pocket grabbing part of a pen, and you sit there and flick them, and it has a different sound. And I remembered it was called a kalimba, and so. Actually, yeah, if I go like this, and you can see it from a couple angles here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And yeah, the bit is goes. That's too quiet. Hang on. So it's that's too fast. Anyway, so it's a neat little sound, right? Isn't that a nice sound? So yeah, so that's the other thing that this doodad does. It's but the whole idea behind it is that when I start doing LinkedIn lives like this, that I can sit there and DJ at the same time, or if I'm streaming anything else, I could just sit there and run some loops and do some samples and all that kind of crap. But as far as your own office, those are like toys, but like, what are the things to think of? Hidden on the camera here, if I put this over here, then I can actually talk to you, which is far more polite. There we go. Is it doing the thing? It's not doing the thing. I put it there, and boom, there's the thing. All right, cool. So now I can see what you're seeing. So the podcasting microphone is right here, which is why I really shouldn't, speak up the way I just was, because otherwise you'll all go deaf. And so we got touchscreen over there. There's a tower behind it, and then this is the top of the line Samsung. And there's a couple things that you want to think about when it comes to having multiple screens. One of the first ones is make sure that whatever you're doing is symmetric with your neck. So if you have a 2-screen system, you'll find that you end up turning towards one of them too often, and you'll get really, really bad shoulder tension. So that's no good. So this one here, you actually have enough real estate that when your head's in the middle of it, it also has a curve. It's the Samsung G9, but yeah, you actually, you don't have to turn your head quite as much because of the curve. But the other setup I had previously was to have a 3-monitor setup where the center was an ultra wide, and then I had this touch screen that was originally on my left, so I could mouse with one hand and go beep boop boop with the other one, and on the right was my 3D monitor, but that's polarized, so you have to have the clip-ons, but whatever. So the symmetry thing is the one thing that I'm saying is really important. The other thing too is cable management. I'm kind of failing at that right now because I got 2 different computers hooked up to that. The tower's hooked up to this monitor, and then I can switch it so that this one's controlling it as well, so it controls both at the same time. Racing cockpit over there. I like the ergonomic keyboards like this one. So and then it's nice and dark. What else can I say? Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, I got a little. I think it was actually a shoe rack under my desk here, and that's where I get some extra storage because I'm never that far in. But what else have I got to say? As far as a mouse goes, it's important to if you get extra buttons, a mouse with an extra buttons that you can actually configure yourself. then you can get all sorts of extra functions like copy and paste just with one hand. So that's what I got as far as that goes. Yeah, I got one of the keyboards right here for just my left hand. I don't want to play any copyrighted music or else I won't be able to monetize this stream. What else do I have? I've got a paging thing, but yeah, so like that's the main thing, is just make sure that you're not turning your head too much, or at least not to one direction all the time, or else you'll hurt your neck that way. And yeah, that's basically the long and short of it as far as what do you do for these different things. I guess the articulating arm over here is important to mention as well. So this is just a monitor on its own, so it's not an all in one. So the articulating arms, just to make sure that you can move it. Like over here, that's how I move it so that it's ready for the racing cockpit over there. But there you go, huh? All right, so thanks for being a part of this LinkedIn Live test. I said that it was going to go to half past, but I just wanted to basically show you some of the tricks for in your office. You know, you can see that I've got the guitars on the wall, so if you actually know where the studs are in your wall, then you can just bolt those right in. It's a very good space-saving technique. You know, it's this. I didn't really want this to be a show and tell. I was more concerned about getting that idea symmetry across and how important that is, but also paying attention to the ergonomic keyboards that I use. Part of it is because I got big hands, and so like naturally, like it's a much better angle for me to be typing all the time if it's ergonomic, as opposed to like I end up squeezing myself to use a normal keyboard, you know, because it's not a comfortable spot to put my wrists that close to each other as I'm typing. About typing, if you want some suggestions as far as how to type faster, I'd recommend there's a game called The Typing of the Dead. The Typing of the Dead. And the way that The Typing of the Dead works is you've got you have to type these words to shoot the zombies. So it's the Sega game House of the Dead, but you type words in order to continue. And if you don't type them in time, the zombies bite you, and so that's pretty rad. But you know, that's something you can do to increase that. But yeah, being comfortable, you know, also having, you know, the different light settings, that's all handy. But I wanted to hop on you guys on here real quick so I could talk to you guys. And Travis here is commenting. Let me get down here. What does he say? Boink. 'Cause it's dope. But yeah, you know, you change the different colors of lights depending on the time of day and all that kind of stuff. But this, you know, like, is it hard to hook up all this stuff? The soundboard's not the nicest thing. Figuring out Ableton and a controller is also a little bit tough at first. Like, I ended up getting some extra stuff. I was going off of some YouTubers to find out, you know, it's like, how do they make dubstep and live performances and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I got Ableton. And then I bought something called Serum that I still haven't figured out how it works in all of this kind of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed all of this, talking about office setups and ways to make it. Like, the other thing I can tell you that I wanted to share is the mindset of, like, why did I go for, you know, like, why did I go so over the top? And the biggest reason is because, you know, like, if I had a nicer car, I still wouldn't be able to enjoy it. You know, I'm spending more time in my office than I am in my car anyway, so you might as well make your little, you know, I've been joking and calling it a prison cell, and, you know, that I don't really feel like my office is a prison cell. But I think around the 6-year mark of working from home, I totally did. And like, that's a tough one to get over. But you know, it's like, hey, you got to be somewhere, right? Why not in a nice office from home? All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you comment, and I'll pester you later, and see you guys around. Adios.